Greetings and welcome, fellow brethren of the heavy. This is No Nonsense Metal Reviews with your humble host, George. And today, there's something a little bit different. I'm going to be showing off some of the cool things that I found lately on eBay. I mean, long gone, for a lot of us anyway, long gone are the days of being able to go down to your local record store, flick through the cabinets and through the racks and find some really inexpensive musical gems. That's a bit of a dying art, sadly, a way of life that's in its twilight years. But for those of us who are still devotees of this sort of music, of rock, classic rock, heavy metal, we've always got eBay, our salvation, and the odd car boot sale, or whatever you call it in other countries, I don't know, jumble sale or whatever, yard sale. But I've been doing a bit of research lately on eBay, trying to find a few bits and pieces at what I would consider to be good prices, rather than getting ripped off blind or just buying something for the sake of it. I tend to enjoy actually just scouring through stuff. So I thought this would be a cool opportunity to show you a few things that I've got, namely from my favourite band. So this first episode is about the vinyl discoveries of my favourite band. This is stuff that I found in the last few weeks, all in one bundle actually, from one seller who, I must say, kept this stuff in immaculate condition. I'm a collector, primarily of CDs. That's my chosen medium because you've got your physical copy, but you can play it on a CD player, you can play it in your car, you can put it on your laptop, on your computer. You've got it. You've got your music. That's fine. Vinyl, to me, until very recently, just seemed like a really expensive way of trying to get access to heavy music, to the music that I want. It's just really expensive. Either that, or you'd find some beat up copy that's all dog-eared on the corners and scratched to buggery. Not really interested in that. So I'll give you a rundown of the 7 records in this bundle that I got for, I won't go into money details, but an absolute steal, really. And I'm grateful for the seller accepting my offer. So they're not in chronological order, but they are in order of what I am most pleased with. To be honest, that's the justification here. And I will say that all of these albums I do have. Of all the 23 studio Saxon albums, I have them all in one format or another, whether it's the Solid Book of Rock, which contained all the albums from Solid Ball of Rock through to, I think it's Into the Labyrinth, off the top of my head. Might be getting my discography a little bit confused there, somewhere in the middle, but the other earlier material I have only on these box sets, these Carrera years and EMI years box sets, which they are good box sets. I'm trying to show you what I'm trying to explain here without blinding you with glare, but they have all the albums, but they are not all on one disc. So for example, it's not quite on this one, hang on. My apologies, it's actually on this one, the first one. You've got Denim and Leather and Power and the Glory are cut up between 2 discs. And I don't like that. So I wanted to get them as they are, as they should be. A full album. And I was going to try and find them on CD. They've recently had their catalogue, the early period of their catalogue, reissued on nice digipack CDs, but I happened to find these first. So, number 1, I will say, is actually my least favourite Saxon studio album. They don't have a bad album. 23 albums is a lot, but they don't have a bad album. It just happens to be my least favourite. And I think a lot of people also share that opinion, that Destiny from, no, I think, was this 98? 98. 88, yes it was. EMI. This copy is in immaculate condition. Absolutely pristine. The edges are not dog-eared and worn and torn. It's great. It's in perfect condition. And as I was saying, I think a lot of fans also agree that this album was just a little bit too off track for Saxon. They really were one of the forefront pioneers of the new wave of British heavy metal, NWOBHM. The Kings, considered by many, like myself, to be way ahead of the game. And then they started to just take a little bit of a dip, jumping on the bandwagon, if you pardon the pun, of the bands like Def Leppard, for example, or Tigers of Pantang as well. I can't quite remember what year The Cage was, but where everyone's suddenly adopting this big American stadium rock sound, far more radio friendly. Saxon also did the same. Of course, why wouldn't they? It worked well for Def Leppard. It was working really well for Whitesnake. Hey, of course they're going to want to cash in on that. So this is one of those albums that I feel is just a little bit too soft for what I want to hear from Saxon, the kings of heavy metal. But there are some good songs. So Ride Like the Wind isn't a bad song at all. Where the Lightning Strikes, again, not a bad song. Calm Before the Storm, SOS. Jericho's Siren, and Red Alert. These are some good songs, but they're not Saxon top quality. But this record, however, is, and I won't get the discs out because you won't be able to see quite what I mean, but they are in absolutely mint condition. They really are. I'm also very hesitant to just keep sliding them out like that. I'll do it properly, I promise. So yeah, I'm very happy with the condition of this. It's a lovely piece to have. Still, not my favourite Saxon album. Not quite in my top 22. Ranks number 23, if I had to rank them like that. So, up next, one that I do have a higher opinion of, but again is a little bit soft in places. It's got a solid, well, I was going to say heavy metal, but it's like hard rock, heavy metal backbone. I'm talking about the anthemic Rock the Nations. So this is 86, and I was actually quite surprised to see Graham Oliver still in the band alongside Biff Byford, Paul Quinn, Nigel Glocker and Paul Johnson. I thought Graham Oliver actually left sooner than that. So I've learned something from the back of this record, which again is in absolutely beautiful condition. And it's got a great cover. It's lovely. This is in lovely condition. And both of these originals as well, not reissues, not replicas, not some import, reissue, whatever. No, this is the original EMI 86 copy. Awesome art on the inner sleeve there. Really cool. The guy's looking very, very interesting. I'm not quite sure what was going on there wardrobe-wise. Some sort of Motley Crue. I don't even know, really, but that's good. Again, just like Destiny, like I said, it's not quite what I want to hear from Saxon, but it's not a bad album. Again, you've got some great songs. Rock the Nations, the title track, is a fantastic song. It's a stomping rock and roller of a number. That's a heavy number. Battle Cry is without a doubt the best song. And that is what I would consider to be the first sort of signs of where they were going to go when Saxon turned things around in the 90s and got heavy again. Heavier than they were. Started to tread the path of heavy metal, power metal. Very, certainly with the themes, thematically. And it's just a heavy number. Heavy, uplifting number. Powerful stuff. That's what we want to hear from Saxon. We Came Here to Rock, good rocking number. Yeah, I mean, Party to Your Puke deserves credit because it's got a great title and also it's got Elton John guesting on that particular number, and I think he was also on Northern Lady as well. So Elton, not quite my cup of tea, but a legend in the music business, and for that alone, the fact they managed to get him involved, I think they were actually rehearsing in the same rehearsal space, and they happened to manage to rope him into that. I think that could be like a Wikipedia embellished or stripped down story, I'm not so sure. But this is lovely. And of course I will be giving it a spin, because I want to hear Saxon. I could listen to Destiny if I didn't have other albums that I think are slightly better that I want to choose first to listen to. So, up next, going back a little bit further, to Innocence Is No Excuse. Questionable cover, definitely, not really sure, but then again, when you consider how different the music on this album is to, say, a few albums before, Power and the Glory, their heaviest album from that era, in my opinion, the covers reflect. So you've got some sort of knight, a warrior on the front of the Power and the Glory, and then you've got this young lady on the front here, and this is a rockin' sort of melodic, very Def Leppard inspired album. They're definitely riding the coattails of those guys. It is a good album. I think this, out of all of those albums just previously mentioned, these three rather, this is my favourite out of those. And again, this is in such good condition. Absolutely amazing condition. Inner sleeve as well. Incredible. I can't imagine any other conditions other than the inside of like a sealed plastic box that these could have been living in for the last however many years, because it's in such good nick. So Innocence is 85, a year before Rock the Nations. This is, I should say, an original, an EMI original. Rockin' Again is a great stomping rock number. That's a fist in the air kind of song. It's a great number. Call of the Wild, again, Back on the Streets, Devil Rides Out, Rock and Roll Gypsy. It's just sort of rocking and rolling. It's good stuff. It's got substance, it's got power. Broken Heroes being a big ballad at the start of side 2 there. That is a very emotive, heavy song, emotionally heavy song. It's a good one, definitely. You can see where they're going with that sort of slower, melancholic, sort of grand sound, building a bit sort of epic nature into their music there. Everybody Up is a great rocking number. So is Raise Some Hell. Give It Everything You've Got. Can't quite remember that one actually off the top of my head. But again, good, not their best, but it's a good album. I'm more chuffed with the condition. As a collector, this is in such good nick. And I will of course be keeping them in tip-top condition like I do with everything else. Nothing worse than the scuffed edges and damaged spines. No, not here. So, we're moving on to where a lot of fans of the early era would consider things to start going a little bit wrong or right commercially, if you look at what happened in the States. And, you know, again, we're following Def Leppard here. We're jumping in with Crusader, a beautiful copy of Crusader. Say what you like about the album, that cover is wonderful. It is wonderful. And here, show you the back first. Trying to get it all in the screen is actually quite difficult. Big old LPs, but this is all make it even more difficult. What a lovely gatefold. A lovely gatefold. We've got a lot of art going on in there. There's the guys. Awesome logo. Great art there. Really do love the cover. What an awesome cover. this is where things start to get very, very rock, as opposed to metal. Rock, yeah, appealing to a radio audience, a radio scene, America. That's my guess. Certainly with a song called Sailing to America, that's gonna, tick the boxes that the fans of Def Leppard's Hello America, that's, stick the name in that. I'm sure their patriotism will take over and they'll want to buy in on that. Crusader is an excellent song. There's no doubt about that. That is a epic that deserves to be orchestral. And of course they did do orchestral versions on, I think it's Unplugged and Strung Up, if I'm getting the name right. The sort of reworkings, acoustic and orchestral reworkings album they did a few years ago. It's a big number. And it's a great song, no doubt. That's why it's still played live, regular rotation, even though the album didn't go down too well over here in Britain. That song is still a great song that will still get a fan going, a crowd going even. It'll get fans going, hell yeah. But it's a good one. The cover of Set Me Free, I think by The Sweet, I could do without. I don't need a cover on a Saxon album. Of course, there are a few here and there, but moving on to Just Let Me Rock. That's a good rockin' number, no doubt. That is a good song. Bad Boys Like to Rock and Roll. Could just about remember that. The B-side on this album for me is just a little bit forgettable. Just a little bit. It just doesn't quite tick the boxes. But again, as a collector, this vinyl is lovely. The disc I've checked, of course. Not quite the same lovely inner sleeve that we get on those last couple, but we've got our Saxon logo, Carrera years, lovely. And the disc is, I will say, in tip-top condition. So, brings us on to the sort of the main highlights for me. I'm a fan of, biggest fan of the earliest and the more recent years of Saxon. They have, like I say, they haven't got bad albums. There is no bad Saxon album. They have some albums that I would consider to be better than others. Definitely. I have my absolute favourites. We all do. That's all part of being a fan. We can't all just love the same album. If we were all just devoted to Wheels of Steel or Battering Ram, that would be no fun. And their set lists live would be very singular. But, talking of set lists, what a stunning live album. The only thing that really is questionable about this, I know a lot of people have asked this question, why not a double album? They would have had the material by now. The fact that this is after the release of Denim and Leather, and of course there's no live version of Denim and Leather on there. Strange, as nowadays it is, and probably ever since it has been an essential component of their live show, certainly with encores. What a blinding live album, and this is in such good condition. There was a little sticker up here. I did remove it because it was, to be honest, really unnecessary. It had like a price on it, like $3.99 or something from whenever it was purchased, and it was just kind of bugging me. I didn't really want it there. And I used a little bit of adhesive remover. Some people, I'm sure, would say that's absolutely sacrilege. What are you doing, you monster? I say I don't want to look at the $3.99 sticker. I would give it a go and do it properly, and I'll touch it up with something. I'll come up with something. Motorcycle Man. What a fantastic opener. They still open their live sets largely with Motorcycle Man because it's such a blinder. 747, Strangers in the Night, Princess of the Night, one of my absolute favourite Saxon songs, and again, a lot of fans say the same because it's such a great heavy metal NWOBHM number. Strong Arm of the Law. It just, there's no words for the quality of this music, and this recording is sublime. Heavy Metal Thunder, 20,000 Feet, Wheels of Steel. Never Surrender, Fire in the Sky, Machine Gun. That double closer there, Fire in the Sky, Machine Gun. What an incredible way to go out on an absolute high. Fantastic album, and I'm so pleased with the condition of this because I've wanted this album on a form of its own, whether it's CD or LP, or I'd have taken a cassette if I had to, just to get it. I've wanted a copy for a long time, and this makes me very happy. So, I've got two left. One of my favourite Saxon studio albums, hands down. The heaviest from their early era. The mighty 1983 Power and the Glory. And this is in such good condition. I wish I could get close-ups of each little corner and show you just how good it is. The age of the album. It must have been kept in a box or sleeves, or I don't know. But it's so good. And what an album this is. The title track alone is, again, another of my absolute favourite Saxon songs. It is a killer. It's a killer number. Red Line, Warrior, Nightmare, This Town Rocks, Watch in the Sky, Midas Touch, and the epic The Eagle Has Landed, closing things off there. What a fantastic album, and this copy is in such good condition. Inner sleeve is also not in bad condition at all. Got our Saxon logo there, lovely. Super duper. What a wonderful album, and I'm so pleased that it's in such good condition. Nothing worse than buying something from the picture, looks good, and actually it's scratched up, dog-eared. No, none of that here. This is fantastic, and I am over the moon with this one. What an album. Following on from, of course, Denim and Leather. Preceding Crusader, the difference in their approach there is unbelievable. How they went from those heavy heights to Crusader. Commercializing, trying to follow the trend, the times. Hey, they weren't the only ones that made similar business decisions. So that's it for studio and live. The last piece in this collection was a compilation that I'd never heard of, and I did look it up. I believe it is an official. It's Saxon Back on the Streets. So this came out, I believe, it's going to have come out after Destiny. I think it was 88 or 89, something like that. I should probably double check my year, but it doesn't say on the back. Oh, 1990. Okay, so this is 1990, compilation of the early years of Saxon. It's a gatefold. Here, if I can get that up. We've got a magazine piece inscription there. The album is in great condition. I haven't played it yet. I haven't actually played any of these, but I've inspected the discs because I wanted to make sure they were in great nick, and I can't see any scratches, so I'm happy. It's not a bad compilation. We get everything that we really need to hear. Power and the Glory, Never Surrender, Back on the Streets, going way back. Then we've got Princess of the Night, Motorcycle Man, 747, Wheels of Steel, Rock the Nations. We don't have Strong Arm, which is a strange one, or Heavy Metal Thunder, unless I'm missing that. No, but we do get some bits from Destiny, Innocence, and from Crusader thrown in there. I believe any Crusader tracks. Maybe not. No, take that back. But at least we get some Wheels of Steel, we get some Power and the Glory, get a bit of Denim and Leather era. You know, it's not a bad compilation for a double compilation. That's cool. But it's in great nick as well. It's in really good condition. Really good condition there. I'm very happy with it. It's just a good collector's piece, I suppose. A neat collector's piece. Quite rare, I assume. I hadn't seen any others on eBay. So I don't know if anyone else has got a copy. Tell me, is this rare? I'm going to keep it in great nick. No, you can't have it. It's mine. So there you have it. The first episode of treasure hunting on eBay, I guess. Digging for audio gold, whatever I'm going to call it. Not really sure at this stage. But I very much appreciate you watching. If you want to give it a like, want to subscribe, I'm grateful, of course. These are the bundle. These are the gems that I'm very happy with, and I have got more classics to do a review of and to show off. So yeah, thanks for watching No Nonsense Metal Reviews. I'm George. Like, subscribe. Take care, my friends. Stay heavy.